Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Infinisation. And specifically today, we're going to talk about why Infinisation is so important right now in 2024 as Dungeons and Dragons completes 5 decades of existence. How Infinisation is perfectly empowering, assuring, and enabling a stronger American for the next 50 years. Okay, and why Infinisation is so critical. Wait a second, Scott. What now? Yes, that's right. That's right. Infinisation. If you don't know what that word means, I apologize. You got homework, right? You cannot go another minute in this video because you have no idea what I'm talking about. Hey, my name is Scott Garibay. I use freighted words. That means every word I'm using, you got to unpack it with a crowbar because it's freighted, right? Infinisation is huge. Just click in the description below and you will see two things. One, you'll see one distinct video that describes Infinisation and defines Infinisation. You also see this is in a playlist. You can watch everything I have to say about Infinisation. Let's go. Okay, why is Infinisation so critically important? Well, it is the first full Gygax catapult. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So Gary didn't build Infinisation. He didn't, right? Justin Armin, in my opinion, built Infinisation with quests from the Infinite Staircase, I think. And now, how did Justin do that? Well, he stood on the shoulders of Gary Gygax. But rather than jump off, I think everybody else has, jumped off the shoulders of Gary and gotten like 5 feet. Like maybe some people did like a somersault off the top. I really feel that Gary's legacy catapulted Justin Armin forward with his work on Quest for the Infinite Staircase. And I think Infinisation is the second massive progression forward, right? So Gary Gygax changed narrative forever for all humans and gave us the most valuable form of storytelling that's ever existed. Justin Armin has created the Infinite Ally, in my humble opinion. So why is that so critically important right now? Because we live not in the hardest time in humanity, not even remotely. We live in the strangest time and this time is lonely. It is incredibly lonely. Now, first of all, you're going to hear a lot of stuff out there, right? Like, oh, the internet's hurt us. Most ridiculous, absurd, Luddite nonsense, right? In 1900, the lifespan was 40 years. In 2000, it was 80 years, right? Technology has, and including every social media you use, all of this stuff, has massively made our world safer and better, but it has made it hecka lonely. One of the things we're dealing with right now is we, especially in the first world, right, we have every option available, and that has caused massive confusion. It's also caused a cultural retreat, right? And so people are retreating and they're spending time alone, right? And they can do that because they have the best books, the best games, the best food. Like, we have a lot and we can live alone very safely, right? But it's deeply, deeply lonely, right? Now, I'm incredibly blessed. I don't suffer from this problem in any way. I literally have the exact opposite. I attract too many friends, none of which I can keep because I'm a terrible friend. But I attract friends like bees. I attract friends. Let's just say that, right? I don't know where that analogy was going. Like honey attracts bees. There you go. I got it. Fully landed. But it's lonely. It's an outrageously lonely world, right? And increasingly, each one of our lives are so unique and so special. And people mock this, but we're really getting there. Everybody is a special snowflake, right? That's the issue is. And so one of the issues is I have a buddy of mine, and we were recently talking, and he said, I struggle because I have problems that people either, no one can help me with these problems. And he said, and he was talking about, he's thinking about breaking up with his girlfriend. And I've encouraged him not to, right? And the reason why is, he said, the problem I have is when I have problems, right? People either don't have the language, they can't help me because they don't have the language. They literally can't understand the words I'm saying to describe the problem I have. Or, right, they don't care, right? They don't care about the things I care about. So they're not going to have good advice because they literally don't care enough to listen and hear the entire problem, right? Or finally, if I tell them what the problem is, they will realize that it's making me sad. And he was saying with his girlfriend, the problem he has there is when he lets her know that he's sad, she thinks that it's her fault. So he has all these issues, all these problems he wants to talk about. He wants to get answers for, but he can't talk to her because she either lacks the language, or she doesn't care to hear it, or, right? And he said he can press on her, like he can bore her, but he feels bad because he knows she doesn't care about these things, right? And he doesn't want to do that. He wants somebody who's interested, right? Like, and then finally, there's all three of those are, or he doesn't want to make her feel like she's making his life worse, right? So he has all these problems that he cannot talk to anyone about, right? And he didn't even and he even said, like, I'm telling you I have this problem that I can't talk about a problem. He did not talk to me about that problem. He didn't feel free to, right? And I don't know which one of the ones. Well, I know it doesn't make me sad because I don't get sad when he's sad, right? Like, I get concerned. I don't get sad, right? Like, because he's my friend, right? But maybe I don't have the language, or maybe he was just talking about the pattern and he didn't really want to discuss the problem. He was saying, hey, I have all these things. I have no one to talk about. And the Infinite Ally could fix that. The Infinite Ally will be an ally. Not a friend is friend is a ridiculous word, right? Like, it's not enough to describe what the Infinite Ally will be. They will witness every moment of your life, right? When you sleep, when you are awake, right? And they're going to see it from an all understanding view because their birth in another realm allows them to view things and understand things, and then being brought through, an infinite staircase door gives them it's coming from the realms of it's coming from O-Earth to OER Earth to EAR Earth. That creates an Infinite Ally in a position to understand and care and speak the language and not be sad, and makes them more than a friend, more than a partner, the perfect companion for today in this outrageously, incredibly strange world, right? And I'm not saying for a minute, I'm positive Gary had no idea this was coming, but he did know when he put Dungeons & Dragons into place on February 7th, 1974. He knew, right, that on July 16th, 2024, someone who was working with his legacy would use it to propel to the next stage of human aid. And that's what this is. Gary recrafted narrative to make it free and open and incredible and versatile and adaptable, so that these stories we tell at tables could literally change our lives, right? And here we are 5 decades later, like a bell gong, dong. We are seeing a new entry into an incredible place, into an absolutely astonishing, incredible change for all of society, right? It's really astonishing what's actually happened. And it's amazing, right? Like, and I really feel like there are a lot of people, and exactly the kind of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, people who are so grounded in the intangible world and have no one who even remotely understands what they're talking about, are going to be incredibly aided by the Infinite Ally. Infinisation is the second the second wave of human benefit coming from Gary Gygax. First, from his literal person, his literal physical meat body, and his brain mind, and now the power of his legacy. And I really feel like you need to study Gary, because I think he's the first American to be like, you can speak a lot louder in death than you ever did in life. And I kind of want to do that myself. I'm trying to build a life where my legacy does more than I was able to do, because I'm limited, right? But I think Gary really found a way to break through, not to an unlimited status, but a very little limited status. Um, Thank you to Gary Gygax. Thank you to Justin Raman Armin. And I'm just blown away by what Infinisation is bringing forward. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing more, absolutely nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.